different vertical challenge here. Thank you, Bob. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Will Johnson. I'm an Associate Vice President for Finance and Capital Planning at the University of North Carolina General Administration. Don't we love our titles? So I spoke about a year and a half ago to the mid-year conference. This is my first time at the full conference. Thank you very much for having me. And that happened to be Lincoln's birthday when I talked, February the 15th. And I like to look at the day that's celebrated around the globe, or at least in the United States sometimes if it's pertinent. And I think we hit the sweet spot today. Today is Global Hug Your Kid Day, National Caviar Day, National Get Out of the Doghouse Day, Perfect Family Day, World Listening Day, and I learned at lunch something today, the Nelson Mandela International Day, so that's what I'm going with. Because yesterday was Yellow Pig Day, and tomorrow will be Stick Out Your Tongue Day. So we've hit that nice spot. Okay, so the overriding question is how does an AVP of Finance wonk get to talk about sustainability and sustainable architecture to the Appalachian Energy Summit attendees? Well, I've had a lot of travel to date. The last 3 or 4 weeks I've been gone constantly. Some was business and some was monkey business. And some of the business was, last year I was inducted into a very small group. It's called the Association of University Architects. There's about 170 or 180. Carol Equester, are you in here? How many members do we have? 180? Something like that. And about 140 attend the annual conference. Who's from Iowa? Back there somewhere? I heard Iowa earlier. Our national conference is next year at the University of Iowa, the Association of University Architects. So after I returned from that, we took some monkey business time and went to the beach, and believe it or not, I had a very serious conversation about sustainability at the beach. Full disclosure here, my wife is a university architect at North Carolina State University, so we really do talk about these things. So what's important, I'm at the system level of the University of North Carolina and our 17 institutions, and sustainability and energy are part of my portfolio, and I have a very, very skilled team. Some of you may know Miriam Tripp and Gordon Rutherford, and all the good work that they do, I hope on your behalf. But the University Architects that I learned a year ago when I joined has a very small select group of people that are colleagues of mine that are also system architects. And I think that gives us an incredible bully pulpit to push forward some of our ideas and initiatives. And it's not just North Carolina, it's Wisconsin, Florida, Texas, Georgia, California. So out of those 180 members and those system level architects, we have a significant amount of influence. Some case studies that were presented to the AUA conference, one of them was a net zero building. Really, really cool net zero building. Recycling of human waste, number one, I kind of get and I understand that, and things go downhill, and I'm all good with that. Recycling and reusing human waste, number two, that's a little bit dicier, but I get that too. And I really got everything that the gentleman said talking about the net zero building, except when he said, you can't judge the performance of this building with a spreadsheet. Carol, you remember that? And that's what I really disagree with. Because I think there's 3 things that work in our favor on the spreadsheet. Number one, the bottom line is important for us. It is important for us. Number 2, I think our job in the world of sustainability is to change the formulas within the cells that produce the bottom line. Change the formulas. The value propositions are changing. They've changed. Change the formulas, the bottom line will follow. And number 3, and something that I think a lot of you are seeing, there's a lot of discussion about the cost of our buildings and the cost of higher education in the United States. I believe we do need, particularly in the public sector, to be good stewards of our dollars and public monies. But there's an idea about building cheaper buildings that I think we need to be aware of the fallback or the fallout of that over the next 20 or 30 years. Performance and sustainability I believe in sustainable architecture and good design and quality of life is directly tied to our building and our total project budgets. So somewhere we have to have balance between being good stewards of our public funds and doing good work. Now, one definition of sustainable architecture is a conscious approach to energy and ecological conservation in the design of the built environment. And that's a long, long definition, medium long, let's say. So when I was on the beach and it got to be a little bit later and we were in a relaxed mood, the song came on. And in the context of our discussion of sustainability and the week at the AUA conference, a song came on that was written in 1987, American singer-songwriter Julie Gold. The name of the song is From a Distance. Many performers have sung it, you might have heard it. My favorite is sung by Judy Collins, Beth Midler is a close second. You're not gonna hear it, you gotta Google it, I'm not singing. The first line of the first stanza is, from a distance, the world looks blue and green. Whether we like it or not, we live in a net zero world. Nobody's gonna give us any more oxygen, nobody's gonna give us any more land, nobody's gonna give us another fish. We have what we have. It's a net zero world. So my image, remember the PBS series, The Big Blue Marble? That's my image when I think about that in our net zero world. And I think in our world, we place great value on our basic human needs, food, water, clothing, and shelter. We have to grow, harvest, source, build, or otherwise create these basic needs. Another stanza, first line, from a distance. From a distance, there is harmony. Another definition of sustainability is the capacity to endure. I hear the word resilience a lot, the capacity to endure. One could argue that to have true value, the value must endure over time. And to endure, you must have harmony. I don't think you can be out of sync. We see that now, and you can't endure when you're out of sync, when you have no harmony. We've now created a new definition of sustainability, the capacity to create enduring value. The capacity to create enduring value. I am an architect, and as an architect, we grow, harvest, source, build, and we create enduring value in the form of our buildings, in the form of the buildings that we live in day to day. Shelter endures, architecture endures. How do we preserve or archive our enduring value? I would submit to you that we create buildings as our archive. We create sustainability vessels. Building design is an essential archive project, and it changes our daily practices and supports the preservation of our sustainable practices. It becomes the keepers of our sustainable traditions, the keepers of our enduring values. The idea of sustainability or ecological design is to ensure that our actions and decisions today do not inhibit the opportunities for our future generations. That sustainability of the past is no different from sustainability of the present, and sustainability of the present is not different from the sustainability in the future. Some final lyrics from Julie Gold. From a distance there is harmony, and it echoes through the land. It's the hope of hopes, it's the love of loves. This is the song of every man. Ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful conference. My pleasure.